I was lying in my bed and I looked down and I found I had a lump on my right breast. I booked in to see my GP that day, and 2 days later I was told to prepare for cancer.
I went to the hospital after Googling why I spat up a large amount of blood. She sat us down, she was very clear, and she said, you've got a 90% chance that what we've seen is cancer. My brain hears, I've got a 10% chance I don't have cancer.
My friend was diagnosed a year before he died. We thought that he was through it actually, but then it came back a second time and it happened pretty fast.
It felt surreal and a little bit like this is sort of something that happens to older people. It felt unfair.
I do feel that it's a bit of a David versus Goliath thing, but at the same time I'm just trying to do my little bit.
My response to it is to embrace the suck, as you would say in the military. It's going to be difficult, but just got to get into it. Lean in.
As an oncologist, I get to look after people who are in a really tough situation, and it turns out that most people have an enormous reserve that they don't normally call on, and they don't normally find out they have it until they're in a really tough situation. And so I get to see people find strength within themselves and guide them and their family through what seems like an impossible situation.
I'm here for the duration. My wife needs me, my kids need me, my community. I don't know if they need me, but I'll be around to annoy them.
We're just looking after each other in this, and I think anyone can do that.
Everyone has their role to play, whether you're a friend or a family member.
One thing I'll never forget is lying on my couch crying because I was ruined after the last chemo, and my 13-year-old son came up to me and said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "No, I just don't want to do this anymore." And he said, "But you've already done it, it's finished, and you know, you've done a great job," while he was like helping me out and patting me and trying to make me smile.
I think one of the things we're getting better at in looking after people with cancer is working together better. Forming teams, working with nurse specialists, doctors, patients, their families, and all of those people that can make a difference for people's experience and outcome.
Patients going through the cancer journey and their families need time to process things. They need a pair of ears that will listen to them and what they want and what's important to them throughout their cancer treatment.
Why Canopy really exists is to make a difficult journey that much easier.
I think when you see a patient doing well on treatment, or you see people get into landmarks that were really important to them, that's a real sense of satisfaction, and it's lovely to know that we've been part of that.
Right now, cancer treatment is going through very much a revolution.
We're on the edge of something changing, I feel. Our understanding of genomics, the introduction of immune therapies, and our biological tools that we have to investigate the cancer themselves, I think are going to lead to changes that are really significant over the next decade or so.
You can't lose yourself in cancer. If that happens, then that will permeate your entire life and what's left of it. I would rather go out kicking and screaming and laughing than succumb to any kind of possible sadness.
If we stand and fight and live, then we'll get the most out of life.
Doing anything and being able to get up and live a relatively normal life is amazing. The mundane is amazing after this.